Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Do want to mention our great friends over there at usdailyreview.com, the national news site. Over 1 million hits a month. The show is rebroadcast on there, and thanks to them. And also want to remind the listeners, starting in January, a new Price of Business TV edition in 38 million homes around the country. And so we got more information coming about that as we get closer. But right now, I get to spend some time with my good friend, Annette Monks, and she is with Carlton Staffing. And that website is carltonstaffing.com. Annette, good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How are you doing today?
Fabulous. Thank you.
Love the work that you guys do. I'm a big advocate. I have been for years on businesses focusing on business, and staffing is often an encumbrance to business rather than, the thing that helps it grow. I mean, they need it to grow, but yet it kind of actually saddles them down in a negative way. And so having companies like you take care of this, particularly in the regulatory environment we live in, I think is huge.
Agreed. And Carlton can certainly help with that. We place temp to hire, and direct hire positions in any position in an office or any position out in the warehouse, including skilled trade. And we also have a company called KTEK that does engineering and IT placement. So hopefully we can help our clients with that.
Yeah. carltonstaffing.com. And your guest today?
I would like to welcome Jesson Bradshaw. He is the CEO of Energy Ogre. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Tell us, you kind of give us your elevator speech to get started.
The Reader's Digest version?
Very much so. Like from first floor to second floor, not first floor to 12.
Oh, boy. That's a tough one. Essentially, what we do is we help folks manage the electricity buying process for them. Deregulation has been a fantastic thing for most folks here that are available to take advantage of it in Texas, but they just don't have the capability to mostly get that value out of it. So we're here to help folks do that. Awesome.
Very good. With your question on that?
So what inspired you to provide this type of service to the general public?
Well, like I said, we're huge believers in deregulation. It's been a fantastic thing for the state, for the broader economy, as far as I believe. But we have seen some problems. Most often the problem is a lot of folks don't know how to fully take advantage of getting that value out. I talk a little bit about a story. I've been involved with the energy space for probably 20 years, and I had a number of my friends and family ask me, okay, well, what do I do? How am I going to take advantage of, what's the best provider that's out there? Who's a good one to go with? And I tell them, oh, go to the Public Utility Commission's website, The Power to Choose, and make a selection there and find one for you. And I had some of these folks come back and say, look, I'm confused. I'm thinking to myself, how in the world can you possibly be confused? Whether there are like 10 or 15 different offers, just find a good offer and move on down the road. And they came back and said, no, I'm still confused. So I hadn't looked at the site in, probably 5-6 years, and I went and looked at it, and it was unbelievably complicated with the number of providers, the number of different offers. And looking at it, I realized that there was a better way to do this, and it does need to be sort of a math exercise, and there's some analytics that need to be brought to bear, and that's how we got started.
Wow. Well, that makes perfect sense. I love your website, by the way, and that is energyogre.com. And I like how you have, all these plans, all these companies, but there really is only one right for you. How do you determine that for that consumer?
Sure. It is a math exercise, but what happens is a lot of folks get confused when they look at these rates that are offered. They're all displayed 500. You rate at 500 kilowatts, you rate at 1,000 kilowatts, you rate at 2,000 kilowatts. But if you really look at the way those rate programs are constructed, they're actually rate curves. They're not a rate. And a lot of folks get confused with that. So what has to be done is, what we do is we go through every rate that we can get our hands on, some of them in the public domain, some of them directly from the providers, some of them from their websites. And we actually build up every one of those by their disclosure statement, and it's in their electricity facts label. So we take every one that we can get our hands on, and we build up the actual supply curve itself.
Oh, that's fantastic. Very good. Annette?
Well, just to add to that, you do all this work for us. For me, I'm not a detail person, and I hate to do that, but I want the savings. And so can you give me an idea kind of what the average savings someone, just an individual residential account might see just from getting this kind of service?
Sure. On average, we see folks saving over $1,000, between $1,000 and $2,000 is pretty typical for us. We've had folks that have saved as much as like $8,000. And occasionally we find folks that that they're in a great situation today by luck or circumstance, and we'll tell them that right away. Say, look, we're not going to be able to do better for you. Come back and talk to us when it's time for you on the renewal side.
Mm-hmm. Now, everyone always wants to know, so how do you make money from this business model?
Sure. For us, we wanted to be completely transparent and completely straightforward with our customer base. So we don't receive any compensation from any retailer whatsoever. We are 100% aligned with our customer base. So we charge a $10 a month fee to manage this for our customers on a going forward basis.
And so, and I guess you're continuously monitoring, in case their situation changes as their contracts come up.
Well, again, we are always looking at what's coming out there in the marketplace. We're always seeing new offers. You'd be amazed at how frequently these offers change, oftentimes multiple times a day. And the way the consumer protection rules are set up for residential customers, everybody has an ability to exit their contract for a fixed price. And so what we look at constantly is, okay, with these new rates that are coming into the marketplace, are you better off financially to break your existing contract and move to this new lower contract, or should you stay where you are? So hopefully you always have the lower of sort of cost or market type situation in place. And I think most importantly, what we're doing is we're making sure you're not falling out of contract. Mm-hmm. And that's where a lot of folks, we're all busy. We all have things that are going on sort of separately. And it's easy you go on vacation around the summertime, right when your contract's renewing. You get back and you realize you're out of contract because you got, a gargantuan bill sitting in the mail waiting on you. So
absolutely. We got a couple of minutes left, actually about a minute left. Why don't you wrap it up for us, Annette?
Well, how do they get engaged with your company? If we want to save money and find out if we got the best deal, what do we do?
Sure. Go to our website, energyogre.com, OGRE, and
what information will we need to be prepared with for you?
Sure. If you have a copy of a bill, if you just have a recent bill with you handy, we have a savings calculator that will try and give you an estimate based upon you give us 3 points of data. We'll use your last month's usage and extrapolate what that looks like to give you a good idea of what your savings might look like with what's available in market. And then if you go ahead and sign up, you can sign up as well, and we'll just we'll need your address and a couple of things pertinent to what you what your service location is, and we're off to the races.
Very good. Jesson Bradshaw, CEO, EnergyOgre.com, and of course Annette Monks. She's a regular here, and we're always glad to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you.
CarltonStaffing.com. When we come back, we'll be back with you tomorrow. I do want to remind you, though, the show continues 24/7 at priceofbusiness.com. While there, make sure you like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.